I don't like them. Don't like them. They look cool.
They look cool,
but I wouldn't own one.
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm here with Dan, KXC Media, and we're going to be discussing his photography, and afterwards we're going to be taking out this absolutely beautiful Turbo S that has been tuned by ES Motors and is running 850 wheel horsepower. So Dan, how did you get into photography? What kind of started your journey?
So it was, I had an Audi A3 2012. I was just getting into modified cars. This was probably what, 4-5 years ago. Started modifying the car, and I thought I instead of just taking photos on the phone, I'd like to start doing it on cameras. And at the time, my dad had a Stone Age Nikon D3000. I think it was like 2004 this thing came out. And I remember going to a multi-story car park in Guildford, and I thought, right, I'm going to start taking shots. I took the tripod, took everything. I was like, right, I'm ready to do this. The first, I must have clicked the shoot button once before reversing over the tripods and shattering the camera to pieces. Yeah, it wasn't a good start.
Not your most successful.
No, it wasn't my best shoot. I had to pay my dad back for the camera, but I ended up upgrading that and sort of getting a D3400. Started doing that. Started going to sort of car meets and like coffee mornings, and I just started shooting. It wasn't so much the editing was my pet peeve to start off with, like it could be with anyone. But for me, it was more the just getting used to shooting cars.
Oh yeah.
And I think to start off with, it was literally, there was no imagination to it. It was just camera, car, capture, and that would sort of be it.
Just repeat camera, car,
Yeah.
capture. I think the biggest thing is when you first start, everyone always, I think, over edits. You know, there's always way too much clarity and
I was literally about to say that.
Drag up.
Yeah,
You go into your first editing, you first start out, and
it was Lightroom on the mobile.
Lightroom on the mobile, and you go, oh yeah, this looks really good. And I think that's something everyone does. So
Yeah.
when you start out, I would say try and like keep it super clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit, even to this day, I struggle with color grading. I can now, but this is after like almost 2 years of editing.
I think it's all personal preference though, isn't it?
Like my preference these days is I like to shoot sort of quite warm photos. I like to stay on sort of that orangey tint, warm tint side of things.
Yeah, because you've got like a really unique warm style. If you actually look compared to a lot of people, yours is always warm and inviting almost. You want to look through everything.
Yeah, I try to keep. There is some. It depends on the car. The cars like shooting like a Porsche, or I've done a Mercedes AMG GTR. Done a couple of sort of other Porsches, things like that, McLarens. Just at like coffee mornings here, and I tend to keep quite a realistic edit on them. Try and make them as sort of crispy clear as possible. Keep sort of just adjusting contrasts, things like that.
Yeah, just keep them fresh, clean, simple.
But when it comes to sort of modified cars, which again I shoot a lot of, being in sort of the modified car scene, I like to put sort of cloudy, dark,
moody,
out there edits because it goes with the car itself.
Yeah, I think you'll probably agree with this. No one, you know, you don't really use presets because you edit to each car.
Yeah.
You then can create a preset once you've got your environment sorted.
I have created my own presets, but they are base. So if depending on obviously, like I say, what car I'm shooting, I will put this realistic base and then go through and edit
fully adjust
Yeah.
to how you like it then, and yeah,
Exactly.
exactly, you get that clean look. So
Just saves 5 minutes.
yeah, exactly. So how long have you actually been doing photography now? Like, you've kind of started to set it up and you're doing it more and more.
I would say about 2 years, just over, is when I really started to start focusing on it. Um, back about 18 months ago, I managed to get an opportunity where I was able to focus on a tucked car show, tucked automotive, and they shared a load of my, or a few of my photos, which really helped, and it sort of gave me, when you get the confidence for it, it just motivates you more and more. And I think that's what happened to me in the end. I was just motivated to just keep going.
Just keep pushing through. And
Yeah.
yeah, because I think the biggest thing I see is people that think it's an easy industry, and I'm sure you agree. People go, you can get into it, and you can, but it's so hard to push, get noticed, make money from it, because no one understands. No one's.
People think that they can just pick up a camera. I'm not talking shade on anyone. I will never talk shade on anyone. But I think some people assume that you can just pick up a camera
Yeah.
and get that shot.
Well, the whole point of this show is to help get people to pick up a camera, but realize the effort that goes into it and the time, and that as long as you're willing to put that time and effort in, you're going to go places. Everyone will with photography, especially. You'll get to shoot cool cars like this.
Yeah.
And get to meet cool people
Like myself.
like yourself, and get to go to all these cool shows and do cool adventures and build friendships.
Yeah.
Like, I've built so many friends out of doing this.
Yeah, as have I.
Like, I've been doing this 4 years, you've been doing this 2 years, and I've probably built more friendships that are actually close, genuine friendships, just by doing a photo shoot and then chatting afterwards.
Yeah.
And then you just build this amazing friendship than just not doing anything at all.
Exactly.
So
yeah, and it's helped me develop my people skills, because before I was always very, oh, can I take some photos of your car? And
yeah,
and I would, but now it's sort of, I see a car I like, I will message them.
I think it's a great way to get yourself out there. Like, a lot of people are like, as you said, I think when I started, I was quite shy and timid, and I was like almost scared to message people.
Yeah.
And
you're scared of that rejection.
I'm scared of that rejection. Like literally setting up this YouTube channel is, I've probably sent out 100 messages and luckily everyone's in for it. Like,
it's
yourself,
a really good concept.
I think you just went, let's go for it, let's do it, let's get it in the books, and everyone's like that, and I love that. And I think it's so nice for the photography community to pull together now and
I feel like
open up.
Yeah, and it is. It's nice to be able to, because there's always going to be this slight form of competition, I feel, but if we can cloud that with the coming together and sort of sharing each other's photos and sort of giving people the confidence.
I think it's all about confidence, and I think the competition is both good and bad. It's bad when people put each other down, and I don't like it.
No.
If someone messages me, I will always try and give them some support, some feedback.
Yeah.
Even if it's negative criticism, it's because I'm trying to help.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, constructive criticism.
I will always take on constructive criticism.
I'll be like, oh, you should do this, this, and this. But overall, it's a great concept. You just need to bring it forward more. And once that's done, brilliant. But people did that with me when I first started. I had pictures I took, and people were like, no, can't use that. And I go, okay, that hurts, but why can't I use it? And then they tell you.
Yeah.
And you're like, never thought about that.
Yeah. I look up, there's a few photographers that I look up to, that sort of, I wouldn't say inspired, I wouldn't go that far, but they've been part root cause as to why I'm doing the photography now, and I've sort of got to where I am.
Yeah, who would you say, like, your main?
There are three for me. There's Dan Clark.
Yep.
I just think his shots, his motorsport shots, are amazing. He never misses a, well, from what I see, he never misses a beat. Simon Kelly,
Yeah,
he's
good.
I really like him, and I've sort of spoken to him a few times. He's really down to earth. He's willing to help me out, answers any questions. And there's a South African photographer that I follow called Jaden. And I'll show you his Instagram after this.
Yeah, we'll plug it somewhere.
Yeah. But he he was my first sort of. But he does seriously highly edited photos where he will take landscapes and completely change them. So he'll shoot a Lamborghini that's parked up at a traffic light.
I think I've seen them where it's like super clean, like concrete.
And it'll just be the cars will be gone. There'll be some trees in there, and it looks so clean. And he spends hours.
Yeah, I think I've seen his work around. And
I've spoken to him a few times. He's got a very high following. But he was sort of the first one for me. But then I've sort of seen Simon as well, and then Dan as well.
Yeah, it's just that's what I love about the community so far. Everyone's willing to help out, and I think that's so nice. And I think
I have come across a couple that are a bit stuck in their ways. I won't mention them, but
I think there is always people that are stuck in their ways. But hopefully this will help.
That's why I was so eager to jump on this.
Yeah.
Because I just want this community as a whole to just be together. I think if we can all sort of be friendly with one another, help each other out, give tips, give constructive criticism, and be able to take the constructive criticism.
I think that's the biggest one. It's people that don't take the constructive criticism that always worries me. But as long as people take it, I think it's brilliant because. Constructive criticism can hurt, I think, sometimes. I think that's the biggest one. You've got to not take it personally. People are genuinely trying to help you. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, I know I'm probably going to get slated for some of the clips and stuff in this video.
Yeah,
I'm sure, but it's all constructive because
that's what I mean.
And this is meant to be. It's meant to grow and it's meant to show everyone off. Yeah.
And the good thing is, you can show this in a natural light. It's less of a forced. Like we can sit here and we can talk about it all and
stare at the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Hi guys. But from this so far, it's been such a flowy conversation.
Yeah.
And even if there are any outtakes, that's just no one gets it done in their first take.
No, we'll do a hard cut and then.
Yeah. But I do. I think this is a great idea, and I can see this going very far.
So what gear do you use at the moment? What's your go-to lens, go-to camera?
So at the moment I have a very used, I don't know what the shutter count is, but it's very used, Sony A7iv Mark II. I bought it off MPB beginning of last year for I bought the body for £500. So very good deal.
Very good
deal. It did come at a cost with the screen's a little bit iffy, but I've made it work. And I've just recently transformed over to a Tamron 28-70 2.8.
And you love it.
Oh my god!
To be honest, for
unreal
the price, everyone I've heard says the Tamron lenses.
It's so good. It's so crisp, and the depth that you get from it. Obviously, being a 2.8. You'd expect close-up shots to be sort of quite flat,
but they're not.
They're so there's in so much depth to them, and I think they're such a joy to edit because I don't edit on a laptop. I don't have this Mac or I don't have this fancy computer setup. I have an iPad.
You do it all,
and I do it via iPad. I've got an interactive pen.
I mean, you show that you don't need all the top of the line equipment. You don't need to go out and buy the latest Sony. You don't need to go out and buy the latest Mac to do it all.
No.
I think if you're starting to get into the video stuff, you will need.
I will be upgrading this year.
But
I will be upgrading this year. Yeah.
That's just because of the lag of the video. But picture-wise, I think even if you go out and buy a cheap camera, as long as you can learn that cheap camera, you're golden.
Yeah. People say that Sony's a pay to win.
Yeah.
I disagree completely. I think Dan used to shoot on a Canon.
Yeah, well,
even he was sort of Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he used to. And it goes to show that no matter what, you can use the oldest of equipment. I remember running into a photographer. He was growing, and at the, his Instagram was Braga Media, and he was this lovely guy. I sort of had a nice 20-minute chat with him at a car show, and I said, what camera are you using? And he pulls out like the oldest Canon, and then shows me his Instagram. I'm like, that is unbelievable. The fact that you've been able to stick with that camera and you've learned the ins and outs of that camera.
It's just so much skill
to be able to manipulate it. Yeah, it was unbelievable. And I hats off to him again. Put his Instagram in there. I'll get his Instagram.
We'll plug it here.
Lots of somewhere in the sky.
Yeah, somewhere in the
sky. But yeah, it's the things that people can do with the equipment they have.
Oh yeah,
is inspiring.
I think it's so nice to show, and we're going to have a couple of people on this channel soon that have literally just started bare bones photography as well, but they've got talent. And you
can see the potential.
Yeah, you can see the potential, and I think that's the, I love having big people, I love having small people, and I love seeing that difference. But everyone's got talent.
Yeah.
And I think that's the major thing. If you push, you can let that talent shine.
I'm by no means a world-class photographer. I'm by no means a big photographer. But
you've always got an eye. Like, I've always followed your work.
Yeah.
Because I think I've followed you for a couple of years, probably since you started, and I've always got, he's got some cool, clean shots there, and I think it's just nice to see.
I pride myself on, obviously not work related, but I pride myself on my personality.
Yeah,
I think when I go to shoot someone, not literally, but when I go to shoot a car, I like to bring just a day of it, a personality with it, and you can ask some of the people I've shot for, and
I'm sure you agree. If you're boring, no one wants to shoot with you again. You got to have that chat, that conversation, that flow.
Flows. Yeah, and I think that's when you're starting any business that's sort of customer entailed. The first point is you've got to be good with people. You've got to have a good personality. Because otherwise you're just, great, you've got talent, but you were a cardboard box for the whole day.
Oh, yeah. It's something you can learn.
Of course. 100%.
And develop. And I think the first couple of times, I'm sure you'll agree, you go out, you feel super awkward. The first couple of shoots you will do.
Yeah.
You're there and you just go, I feel so awkward.
Yeah.
But once you're in the role of it, you'll have so much fun. You will never look back.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there, I'm really hoping it's not brushing against my
face. No, you're fine. It's actually just underneath.
Is it? Okay. Because I don't want to sit here like this. Like, so it's actually like really.
No, that's all good.
But no, I think.
What else can we ask?
Wow.
Talked about gear. Talked about
Yeah.
Who inspired you? I mean, there's one shot I absolutely love of yours, and that's of the 8 series you did.
Oh, the 7 series.
The 7 series.
Jordan, the E38.
E38, the golden one.
Jordan is a very good friend of mine. He has been for years now. Again, Instagram. Go give him a follow. He's got, he's completely static, that car.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
That was shot about 10 minutes down the road in Ford Airport. That car is, it's unbelievable, and I was very happy with that shoot.
I mean, when I saw those pictures, I just went, they're the pictures you just go, oh yeah.
Very happy with.
Very happy with them. They looked.
Yeah, I think at that point, I also shot a. I'm probably gonna get butchered for this as well. It was an old Honda Civic saloon. I don't know what year it was. It's my friend Tash's, and it was those 2 shoots. They were very close together, and that's when I really started to slow down and really take time with my edits.
Yeah, I think
it's from that point it started to really show.
I think you agree. Sometimes it's nicer just to spend longer editing.
I love it,
but no one realizes you like a shoot like this, 2-3 hours max. You go home and it'll be 10, 12 hours?
I will do probably, because my iPad battery drains so quickly, I will probably do a 6-hour stint.
Yeah.
Editing this shoot today. I'm also, like I said before, I'm going to start doing some gimbal shots with my phone, just because I'm trying to get that experience with the videography, trying to figure out how it all works, and
again, you start learning the basics, the movements,
exactly,
the way it flows. Because I found, just trying to do videography compared to photography, your movements have to be different. An angle that works for pictures does not work at all.
It does not
in a video,
not in the slightest.
It's weird, because that on a picture is the angle of that car, and in a video it just looks naff.
Yeah. And I think another person I sort of look up to in terms of videography mostly is KXC Media.
Yep, we've had him on,
and I know you had him on last week or the week before. His videography stuff is top tier.
Oh yeah.
And I've met him a couple of times at I met him at VAG Society UK last year. He was doing the after movie for it, and you can have a chat with him, and he helps you. And I think once I get my camera upgraded and get my gimbal, I'm going to be talking to him a lot about it's mainly going to be the editing side of things.
Well, I think you agree with this. If we're ever at shows, I think everyone's like that. If you just approach us, none of us.
We're
really
approachable.
Bite.
We're so approachable.
We might nibble, but we don't bite.
Depends how hungry I am.
Yeah, exactly.
So, depends if I've had my morning monster.
We're all
sponsored.
Approachable. Yeah, we're all approachable. We're all easy to get along with. I think we all have our own personalities. I think everyone in photography likes to have a good laugh, and is
I don't think I've met one serious photographer.
No, I think you can't be serious. You have to have that laugh and that joke and that play and that joyful spirit.
Exactly.
So,
but yeah,
perfect.
All is good. So now it's time to shoot.
Well, thank you for coming on.
It's all right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having some fun, and we hope you stick around and enjoy the footage of us shooting this absolutely fantastic Porsche. And we're going to be shooting here and a couple of other locations, so I'll just keep it through and enjoy.
I'm a photographer. You're about to see live how Dan climbs things.